Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are taking a highly requested, heavily searched topic and breaking it down into a clear, manageable guide. Today, we're looking at exactly how to install the Hulu add-on directly into your Kodi Media Center, drawing from a really fantastic step-by-step tutorial over at Wireless Shack. If you've ever tried to integrate Hulu into your broader Kodi setup, you know the process can honestly feel a bit like a maze. But don't worry, we are going to walk through all 19 steps of this installation together and make it as seamless as possible.
To make this as easy as possible, we'll micro-chunk the process. Here is our agenda. First, prerequisites and important disclaimers. Then, Phase 1, adding the source URL. Phase 2, installing the SlyGuy repo. Phase 3, installing the Hulu add-on. And finally, some final thoughts and review.
Section 1. Prerequisites and important disclaimers. Setting the stage.
Before we touch any system settings, we really need to clear something up. Let's look at this comment left on the Wireless Shack article by a user named Neo back in September 2025. Neo writes, "It says you need a subscription to Hulu. I signed in with my expired subscription information, but doesn't show any content. And if I need an active subscription, what's the point of using Kodi?" You know, it's a perfectly valid question, and it represents a huge point of confusion for a lot of people jumping into the Kodi ecosystem, hoping for a magical workaround.
So let's answer Neo's question directly. You absolutely 100% must have an active, paid Hulu subscription for this to work. This Kodi add-on is simply a third-party interface. It is not a free pass to bypass paywalls. The point of using Kodi, as Neo asked, is all about consolidation. You're bringing all your media, all your streaming services, and your local files into one unified, highly customizable dashboard, instead of juggling a dozen different standalone apps. But it definitely doesn't negate the need to actually pay for the premium services you're watching.
We also need to set a professional baseline here by highlighting Wireless Shack's compliance disclaimers. They have absolutely no affiliation with Kodi or any of its add-ons, repositories, or builds. They are strictly an informational news site that does not support or condone copyright infringement. They firmly remind users that Kodi should really only be used with content you've bought and owned personally or content that's in the public domain. Okay, with that vital context out of the way, we are ready to get to work.
Section 2, Phase 1, adding the source URL, the foundation. Let's jump in and see how this builds.
What's really interesting here is that Wireless Shack actually provides us with two different paths. We've got the primary URL at slyguy.uk and an alternative URL at k.slyguy.xyz. This is incredibly helpful. In the world of third-party repositories, servers crash or get overloaded all the time. So having a backup option right out of the gate is a real game changer. If that primary link just isn't connecting for you, you simply swap in the alternative link and keep moving without missing a beat.
All right, let's start the clock on our 19 steps. On your Kodi home screen, head up to the top left and click the System Settings gear icon. From that menu, jump into the File Manager, look over to the left side, and hit Add Source. In the new window that pops up, just click right where it says the word None in brackets.
That brings up your keyboard. Carefully type in the primary URL exactly as shown, https://slyguy.uk, and hit OK. Right below that, name the source SlyGuy. Actually, pause for a second here. Double-check your screen for typos. A single missing letter or wrong backslash is literally going to cause a connection error in a minute. If it looks perfect, click OK. Boom! You've just completed Phase 1. Your Kodi now knows exactly where this repository lives. Section 3. Phase 2. Installing the SlyGuy repo. Bridging the gap.
Now, back all the way out to your main Kodi menu and click Add-ons. Up in the top left, find the package installer. It looks like a little open cardboard box. Click that, scroll down to Install from zip file, and when the directory opens, select SlyGuy. That's that media source we just created. Once you're inside the SlyGuy folder, click the file named repository.slyguy.zip. Now we just need a little patience. Wait for the repository to download in the background. Don't click anything else just yet. Hang tight until you see a small notification pop up slide in at the top right of your screen that says Repo Installed. Got it? Awesome. Phase 2 is officially in the books. You've got the SlyGuy repository securely installed.
Section 4. Phase 3. Installing the Hulu add-on, the final integration. And this brilliantly illustrates how all our prep work seamlessly leads to the actual streaming application.
So still on that add-on browser screen, this time click Install from Repository. You'll probably hit a pretty common roadblock right here, a warning pop-up. Just click Yes. But keep in mind your system has to have unknown sources enabled in the main Kodi settings for this to actually work. If you haven't done that before, you'll need to go toggle that on. Once you're past the warning, scroll through your list of installed repos and choose the Sly Guy repository.
We are officially in the home stretch. Inside the Sly Guy repo, head over to Video Add-ons. Scroll through the big list of streaming options, find Hulu, and click it. Finally, hit Install. You'll see some files downloading, and within just a few moments, the Hulu add-on will be fully integrated into your Kodi interface. From there, you just punch in your paid login credentials in the add-on settings, and you are good to go.
Section 5. Final thoughts and review. Wrapping up.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to drop a quick technical note. Wireless Shack specifically points out that this installation process and this specific add-on have verified compatibility with Kodi version 21 Omega. If you are running a vastly older version of the software, you might run into unexpected menu layouts or dependency errors. So it's always good practice to ensure your core system is reasonably up to date before tackling a project like this.